Hello and welcome to the program, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to just grab this application that we created throughout. We were talking about methods, and we finally pieced together a little application or program. I realized that after I did this, I didn't actually create a project for it, so I just made it in my Learning Java class or my project Learning Java. And generally, I just use this to keep leafing through different ideas and trying to explain topics in the videos. So I found that if you want to keep this program for later, or maybe we can as we keep learning different things, we can tweak this, just like we made our temp converter. It's a decent little program. We can build upon it for sure and maybe make it into something a little bigger. And maybe for yourself, once you follow along with certain programs, it's nice to have something to refer back to, just to work with, and to keep for yourself to know what you've done. So let's just go create a little package now, or a project. And I want to talk a couple things about the package or projects when we're using them as well. All right, so let's come up here. We'll say File, New Project. Click there. Come in here. Make sure Java is highlighted. We'll click on the Java application. We'll hit Next. Okay, and we'll just rename it. You can name it anything. We're gonna say school_CMS, all in capitals. Now CMS is just short form for Content Management System. So later on, if we want, we can make this program into more of a content management system for schooling or whatever be it. It's just a fun little program or whatever that we created. So you don't even have to do this if you don't want to. You could skip this video to the next one, which is fine. No hurt feelings at all. So we can say finish, and we will now create our new project. All right. And we have our little project here. Yours might be created a little bit differently when you have your yours. It might have like a little bit of different format for the comments and stuff like that. I went and made a template that will do this for me as soon as I open my file. I cleaned up some of that. You can watch a video on that. I can leave it in the description below, and if you want to make your own little template for opening and creating files like this, it's not too big. It's up to you. You can always just use the comments that are up there and create something similar. It's not really a big deal, but we'll just come back over to our Learning Java project, or whatever file you created if you were following along and created this, and that's awesome. Actually, I'll just stop highlighting all that first. So what we want to do is just grab everything inside of these curly brackets here for the public class. Right, we don't need to grab the public class because that's the name of our actual project here. So what we'll do is just come down here. You can click this one time, just highlight it, and if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see that this guy here is the one that you want to stay inside. So let's grab everything after that, come all the way up, and then we'll just stop right here. Okay, and we can just hit Control and C, and then we'll just jump over back to our school CMS. Maybe it didn't open for you. You can just open the down arrow, little down, click this guy here. It'll open the file for you. All right, so then we just click and we can grab. We'll just go from here right down to here, and now we'll just push Control V. All right, now the IDE knows that we were attempting to use scanners throughout our program, so it's just going to ask you if you'd like to import that as well, so it can still be used. We'll say okay, and there you go. So now it's all into your own little project folder. We can now just hit Control and S, or if you need to, you can just come up here and then save. You can see Control plus the S is a save. All right, so there's that file created. Keep that for yourself. Use it for whatever be. I just want to show you a couple quick tips when it comes to working inside of our projects here. One thing you want to know to do is you don't want to just click on these and rename them. It's not very good. So actually we'll go here. It needs to be compiled so we can run it, just so that it has a runtime on it. and it kind of just creates it for you. It builds the project up and everything's all good. We just hit 3 to leave. You can run through it if you'd like, but that's just for us. Okay, so it just built the project. It's already been built up, and now it's all, you know, ready to go. So one thing I wanted to show you is when you're working with these, you know, say if you have to rename your file or something like that, it's never a good idea to just simply click, you know, a single time right here and then rename the file. I would kind of steer away from going about it that way. What I would say to do is you can right click and then come down here to refactor and then click rename. All right, and you'll see here it comes up with a rename, and rename it this way. Now nothing's been modified, so we're not going to rename it, but if you do need to, I would suggest definitely renaming your files through the right click refactor, because what happens is that when you rename your file here, it technically doesn't rename it here. So then you'll have to know to do that as well. Okay, so you can, if you know to do that, then that's fine. You can. And say, you know, when we start working in classes and different files, this will become more apparent to you, but just be sure you know a little bit of that about that when you're doing this. Okay, and the same thing would go for any of this stuff, like a package. It has the refactor rename as well. Okay, we're not gonna do it, and the same as this is a, you know, there's a rename. I would highly suggest you following this rule of thumb. You can do it if you want to click and do it. You may break your program, and then if you don't know how to get yourself back out of it, then you might end up having to, you know, recreate and do it a different way. So I just want to show one more little trick for that as well. So say if we create a new one, I'm just going to say new application, and here we'll just call it Java_project. Okay, we'll just say, you don't have to do this, I just want to show you. So say you created this, it didn't turn out, you didn't really work into it, you didn't work with it enough, you wanted to delete it. Okay, so again, we'll right click on here and we'll click delete. Okay, now if you want to delete it 100% and get rid of it, then I would click this button right here as well. Okay, if you don't want to, you know, delete it 100%, you want to keep it, but you just don't want it to show up here, then you might not want to click that button. Okay, but if you want to get rid of it 100%, you do want to click this. And I'll show you why. If I hit yes, I'll delete it. You know, you were looking to get rid of the project, you don't need this stuff anymore. So maybe down the line you were, you know, just wanted to create a quick template project. It was called the same thing, you didn't really see it. We'll say next, and we'll just go Java_project. Okay, you'll see here now folder already exists and is not empty. You'll get that error, and this might be something that you've seen already, something that's kind of been catching you off guard, or what, you know, what's going on here. I deleted it, it's supposed to be gone. Well, very simply, you'll have to come over to your actual documents file, and I'll show you in our documents here. Oops. Right here, and then you'll have to see it. It's still here. It's already created and still there. So you technically have to delete it out of here, and then you can go ahead and rename it and remake it. All right. So just small little tips for you, just to be aware of, so that you can, you know, you're not struggling to make these projects. And if you see little errors like that, then that's okay. And if you do end up, you know, having to rename, just again follow that refactor. Okay, it just helps. It's going to be a lot easier for you to do it this way, and it'll go into the file for you and make the changes as well in here for you. Okay, so just a little tip for you to follow and just to know for future. So that's it for this video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, or ideas for future videos, be sure to leave it in the comments section. And if you could subscribe to the channel, check out the rest of the content, that'd be great. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.